What is up, everybody? This is Ant, and I am joined by my friend and co-host here.
Latino Heat Carlos, right? Or
Uh,
it has I don't know. I think I'm changed my name. I don't know.
a new invention, the evolution of Carlos. Evolution. Sorry, I was Latino. He, of course, dude. You got to evolve. Like I went from at one point I was the
Macho.
Italian.
No. I don't think you ever had one. Did you?
Well, I was the Italian god at one point, Carlos, and then I became the ace. So right now I'm the ace.
You're the ace.
Yeah, you always need an ace up your sleeve, right? And get the ace in the
Yeah.
hole. You always the ace is always number one. So,
Ace.
but yeah, Carlos, definitely, dude. Whenever you feel it, just let us know, and we will be rocking with it. But for those of you who don't know, we are the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, and we are here to cover all things professional wrestling. We have a packed show today for you because we are covering WWE SummerSlam 2022. And also, we are going to be talking about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, which will be coming to you live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I think 6 Pacific, and that's only on the USA Network. We're excited about that because some changes, we've been hearing some rumors, but we're going to give you all the lowdown on that later on. But first, Carlos, let's talk a little bit about SummerSlam. They're live in Nashville, Tennessee. I
It
didn't
was a packed
realize
house.
it
It
was.
was a
I
packed house. Yeah, it was. I
I
believe
didn't
they said
realize
about.
how big it
Believe they
was.
said about 50,000 people.
Close to it. Yeah, this I thought it was just going to be a regular show. I didn't realize it was a stadium like outside. And
They were gonna do a stadium for Money in the Bank too, but then they changed it to arena.
yes, so this was a big fight feel, just the arena being there. This was
Yeah.
the first ever WWE pay-per-view event that Vince McMahon did not helm. Now, that does not mean that he didn't. Like, I was talking to my brother about this yesterday, and Carlos, tell me if you agree or disagree here. We think that SummerSlam was kind of written before Vince left, but Triple H added some elements to it, like the first match, which we'll get into. But I do think that tonight's Raw will be the like legit clean slate. This is all Triple H going forward. What did you think though about the first pay-per-view? Like before the show, let's get our thoughts before the show. Like before it happened, how did you feel? Were you skeptical? Did you think it was going to be okay without Vince? What did you think?
I felt like there was a lot of pressure on Triple H,
Yeah.
mainly on not really mainly on him because, but like mainly he's the one who like head of creative. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure on him right now, and like he definitely went hit the ball out of the park for the show. But I think that there were definitely some matches that Vince McMahon wrote. Like it wasn't all Triple H. I feel like Vince definitely had some hands in there too.
Yeah, I feel like you like I do feel like Triple H was a little like this is his big, time to put up or shut up. There's also a
Mm-hmm.
lot going on this weekend in terms of wrestling. Ric Flair, just had his last match last night, which, I didn't look at it because for me, I think his final match should have been Shawn Michaels versus him at WrestleMania 24.
Mm-hmm.
But so there was a lot going on. A lot of people were there looking at it. I saw Michelle McCool and the Undertaker's daughter in the crowd. Undertaker was obviously backstage. So there's a lot of people were there to look at this. This is history, man. Like I know it sounds corny, but the first show ever in WWE pay-per-view history that Vince McMahon was not at. So, I mean, this show was here to make a statement. It was either going to be really good or really bad, and we're going to get to that in a minute. So let's dive right into the first match in the new era. I'll call it WWE is the Raw Women's Championship. The Raw Women's Champion, the EST and hometown girl Bianca Belair, oh, home state, not hometown, defending against big time Becky Lynch. Carlos, you and I were going back and forth about her attire. What do you think
Yeah,
about it?
I don't know. Her tire like is a little bit like too. I don't know. I don't know. It's like all the sparkle and the glitter and all like the pointy crowns that should be wearing. It's like a little extra. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very like very
Seth Rollins ish
yeah,
type style.
very much so is um and I I truly wonder like why they're doing it. I get she is, big time Becky Lynch, her character, is more showy, I guess, but it to me it doesn't really fit with her personality though. I feel like Becky isn't very much that person on the outside, but I guess it is what it is. She had this very sort of fiery sort of phoenix reminding me type, well, looked kind of different. But anyways, I feel like the when Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler are talking about someone, and King is like, you would mention the color of her shoes or like something like that. That sounds right now. Anyways, um, the match starts and Bianca lands a drop kick and a standing moonsault, which gets a 2 count. Bianca goes for a KOD on the railing outside, but Becky is able to pull Bianca's arm, and then Bianca lands a leg drop, or I'm sorry, Becky lands a leg drop over the railing, and then that leads to a 2 count, which I was impressed to see that move. Bianca lands a glam slam onto the apron to Becky, and then Bianca uses her ponytail and pulls Becky into the post and lands a suplex outside of the ring. Bianca lands a springboard moonsault and gets a 2 count. A lot of action here. Bianca catches Becky in a crossbody, and Becky is able to land a diamond dust stunner and gets a 2 count. I had never seen Becky do that move before. Bianca then nails Becky with a KOD outside the ring, and Becky rolls in before a 10 count at 9. Then Becky pulls Bianca off the top rope by her ponytail, which I thought was a cool thing to see. And then Becky nails a manhandle slam, and that gets a 2. Bianca nails a top rope Spanish fly, hits a KOD again, and this time she gets a 3 count. I gave this match an A because I thought it was great. What did you think of this match, and did you like this one better than their Mania match?
I agree with you. It was definitely a good match. But I think their Mania one was a little better. But they whenever they're in the ring together, they always put on a great match. So I mean,
Yeah. And after the match, Becky offers her hand to Bianca. And, I'm thinking, I'm looking at it like, something's going to happen. Becky's not going to, Becky's going to turn on her, hit her, something's going to happen. However, they shake hands and they hug for a good minute. And, you can tell they're talking to each other and they're probably congratulating each other on a good match. And, I respect that. I like that. But then all of a sudden, you hear the music and it's Bailey. And I don't know about you, but I was like, like I did a whole like extra like crazy pop for that. And then Dakota Kai comes out, and that was another person that I was like, what? Okay, because remember, at this point, all we know is that Dakota Kai has not signed a new contract. We just know that she's a free agent at this point.
oh, she hasn't signed a contract.
Well, at this point, no.
Oh,
All
like
we heard,
before, yeah, before. Okay,
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes, 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 yes. So when she came out, I was like, right? And
yeah.
then
Me too. I know.
then Io Shirai came out, and that did it for me. I was like, like this is uncensored. So like, like when you get to like the orgasm, it starts off, and it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the moment here for me. Like three of them come together. I was like, mine exploded there. And I noticed that they kept referring to Io Shirai as Io Sky, and I thought that was a mistake. But no, her name is now Io Sky, and it's spelled. Her name is now spelled instead of I-O, it's I-Y-O.
So
Io.
wait, IYO.
Yep. EO and then Sky, I think SKY.
I mean, that's not a bad name change. I mean, it sounds pretty much the same. But
Yeah. But anyways, so I listen, I don't care what you call her. I'm glad she's on the main roster. So they both all three of them come in and they all get in Becky's face, or I'm sorry, Bianca's face. And I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting there smiling, like, yo, yes. And then Becky Lynch stands up next to Bianca, like, yo, we'll get them. Like, all right, let's do this. Like, and they basically challenged the three of them. And Bailey has the three of them back off, and they go up the ramp. Now, what was your reaction to that? Because I fucking marked out.
I kind of I lost it for Bailey, and then everybody else. Once I saw Dakota, I was like more confused and excited at the same time. Like, wasn't she just released like a couple months ago? And
Yeah.
then I'm like, holy shit, it's me, man. This had Triple H written all over it. This whole thing right here.
What was so great about this moment too was like, and someone said this on Facebook, it was completely surprising. There was nothing leaked. No one talked about it. There were rumors of Bailey that, but with Io and two of them. And anyways, I heard that supposedly Vince was offered, like they had offered to put three of them together on the main roster, and Vince turned it down. So this is definitely a Triple H move. And also, I heard that going into SummerSlam, Becky wasn't going to turn babyface. That was also
Yeah,
a Triple
yeah,
H.
I read that. I read that too.
Dude, I mean, this is just so exciting. Bailey is posting the lyrics to the song Control by Janet Jackson. And I think that's going to be maybe the new name of this stable. She keeps touting that word control. But I was so excited, man. I flipped out. Bailey looks great. They all look great. All three of them look awesome. So I'm excited for what's to come. What did you think of Becky joining forces though with Bianca at the end?
I mean, yeah, that's gonna work good as a team. I mean, they're good enemies. Now, how let's see how they work as a team.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Well, moving on, we have our next match: Logan Paul taking on The Miz with, oh my God, my wife, my lady, Maryse, and Champa, which, it's good to see him. But I will say, I don't get, you and I were talking about this. I don't understand what they're doing with Champa. There's really no reason for him to be working with The Miz. And now that they have Maryse with him again, there's even less of a reason for him to be with The Miz. Uh, but we'll get to your take on that when we come back from the break. But let's just go over quickly the highlights of the match. So I wasn't really thinking much of this one. I was like, yeah, I don't really care. I was like, popcorn break, and heat up the popcorn, get ready, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. So Logan nails rights and lefts, and Logan nails a moonsault off the apron to the Miz outside of the ring that looked phenomenal. Miz kicks Logan in the ropes, and he hits a code breaker, and then Ciampa punches Logan. Miz kicks and punches Logan in the corner, and Logan nails a really great looking blockbuster. Logan kicks Miz in the chest, and he applies a figure four, but the Miz is able to grab the ropes. Logan nails a flying crossbody and then a standing moonsault, and that gets a 2 count as well. The referee eventually kicks out Ciampa for getting involved. Ciampa grabs a chair and he sits down, but nope, AJ Styles came out and he flies on to Ciampa with a phenomenal forearm and he sends Ciampa into the crowd. Logan nails the Miz with a phenomenal forearm, which looked impressive too, and that gets a 2. Logan clears the announce table and he puts the Miz on top of it. Maryse tries to block Logan, but Logan doesn't care and he nails a flying frog splash through the table. That frog splash seemed higher than the ones that Montez Ford does. Like, that was a huge flying frog splash. Maurice distracts the referee from the pinfall attempt. The Miz goes to hit um, Logan Paul with the VIP ticket that he came down the ring with, but Logan nails a skull crushing finale and gets a 3 count. I gave that match an A. Before we talk about our thoughts on the match, we're going to take a really quick break, and when we come back, we're going to give our thoughts on the rest of the card and Logan Paul versus The Miz. Stay tuned. I was going to stick around and stay tuned. Stick around, stay tuned. See you in a bit. And welcome back. So, as I said before, we went to the quick break. We were just talking about Logan Paul versus The Miz. We know that Logan Paul did win. So, Carlos, what were your thoughts on the match?
The match was definitely something that I wasn't expecting to be that good. I know I saw Logan Paul wrestle WrestleMania, but like he definitely outshowed himself. But like once he did that frog splash to the table, I thought it was over. Yeah, it was a bad buddy moment where like I seen enough. I'm happy. I'm happy with the outcome. And I'm happy they got away. They got a way to put AJ on the show too.
Yeah, yeah. Are you a fan of, like, now after this match, have you become more of a fan of Logan? Do you think he has more to prove? What did you think?
I think he got a little bit more to prove. He's still getting his feet wet in the water for the match for everything, but he's definitely getting better. It's just his mic skills definitely need some work.
Oh yeah,
A lot of it.
yeah. I agree. That needed a lot too. I did think he did good though. Better. I agree with you. He did better than he did at WrestleMania, and I think just the Miz is great to work with in general. But look, he did pretty good. I love that high. Go ahead.
One thing though, I think he's a natural heel though. I don't think he should be a face because everybody already hates him. So I mean, it's easy to make him like we have him a heel.
Yeah. It's hard to feel sorry for him because he just has that sort of like douchebaggy face, and his brother's an asshole, and
I've been watching his videos for years too. By the way, like Jake's too. I mean, they're both, but Logan's definitely more of a mature one. Like Jake Paul would just like talk shit and like he's such a asshole, but like Logan's definitely the mature one, or he's matured much. He's matured in the years.
Yeah, I don't know much about, because you got to remember, I'm more of like, for me, celebrities aren't YouTube people, but I understand now that's sort of what the world has become. So I was like Triple H. I was like, I knew who Logan Paul was, so I'm not that old. But I just was like, oh, what difference is he going to really make to the wrestling business? But I thought he did good. It's definitely, I gave the match an A. Like, I would rewatch it. But yeah.
But honestly, in my opinion, I would have preferred the same situation, but for Bad Bunny. I don't know why they didn't do this for Bad Bunny.
Well, I do know.
Maybe because it's English. I don't know. Maybe I don't.
I know that my friend is actually going to a Bad Bunny concert in Florida this upcoming. I don't know if it's this Friday or no. It's next Friday, the third. It's either the 12th or the 13th. I don't know, whatever. But it's in Florida, so maybe he's touring right now, so maybe that's why he couldn't do anything. But you think I was thinking of him because they had him in the Royal Rumble and that was it, and I was like, oh, okay. But I like Bad Bunny. I thought he kicked ass. I can't sing.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on. We have the Brock Lesnar promo getting us pumped up for the main event. We then get the Maximum Male Models, and they're
my god,
life order. What do you think?
Oh my. They're just spraying water around. I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
It was strange. It was
they're just wetting each other. And I thought they said that LNA would be removed from the group or something. I heard.
Yeah, they said he was gonna be, supposedly he didn't get along well with people backstage, but obviously that's not true because he's still with them. What do you think of Maxine? I think she's attractive.
I don't know who she is.
She was from NXT.
I know who she is, but like I don't know who she is.
Yeah, I think she's cute, but yeah. So just promo for Pure Life Water. We then get a Roman Reigns promo, which again build up for the main event. And our next match is the WWE United States title. United States champion Bobby Lashley defending against Mr. Money in the Bank Theory, who has his sights set on the main event. So his mind isn't fully in this match. So
this match was like a little baby match for him. Like if he wins, he wins. He loses, he loses.
Yeah. Well, we saw that automatically after Theory starts away stomping on Lashley, but then Lashley takes control with a big slam. And Theory's like, like you said, fuck it. This isn't a big match for me. He starts to walk away.
Yeah.
But then Lashley grabs him and tosses him into the guard railing. Lashley hits a running power slam. He misses a spear and runs shoulder first into the ring post. However, Lashley is able to apply the hurt lock, and Theory taps out quickly to the hurt lock. Bobby Lashley retains the United States title. I give it a 6. It's always great to see Bobby Lashley. I am a big Theory fan, but I don't like the way they keep making him lose so quickly by tapping out like that. At least hold on for a little bit. But what did you think? Did you think it was better than their Money in the Bank match, or what did you think?
It was okay. I like Bobby Lashley. I like them both a lot. I think once Bobby Lashley loses his title, he's gonna like go on to bigger things. Maybe fighting Roman potentially. Yeah, I think he deserves a shot at least because he hasn't even fought Roman yet. I mean, he has, but like back 2018, he hasn't fought this version of Roman Reigns. And I think that would be a great match. Maybe after whatever happens after Clash of the Castle, we'll have to see what happens because there's a lot of people that could be like contender to Roman Reigns.
What I wonder, and this is sort of a little spoiler going into Raw, which we'll be covering soon.
Because I'm just thinking ahead of Clash of the Castle, dude. I don't think Drew's winning. I'm just thinking ahead of it right now. Like I just want to know what's going to happen after.
I could have a feeling that with the way they're building the United States title, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. I mean, there's really no, based on Raw with the whole sort of video package that we got about the U.S. title and the history, it looks like they're building that up to be kind of like the Intercontinental.
Of course.
So we'll see. Oh, that's all right. We'll see. We'll get there. But anyways, so decent match. Really nothing here. I think my problem with this is they should have kept Theory's plan to run in a little bit more of a secret because you already knew that this match wasn't going to really matter much because he's going to get involved in the main event because he kept saying it. So I wish that they would have done something a little bit differently, maybe had it be a different type of squash to where you think that he's not going to get involved in the main event because he physically can't. But, it was just a good way to put these two together. All right, next, the no disqualification tag team match, the Judgment Day. That's Finn Balor and Damian Priest with Rhea Ripley taking on Dominic and Rey, the Mysterios. And
she was at ringside, right?
Yes. And Dory said that the Mysterios look like chickens. So I was like,
McDonald's.
Okay.
But Judgment Day looked badass when they came out together. I'm really mad that they took that theme song away from Edge. I like that. I feel like Edge could have I like that theme song better.
Won't you reach the other side? Dun, dun, dun. All right. So, anyways, the match starts, and Dominic dives on to both members of Judgment Day outside, and then Rey lands a springboard dive as well. The Mysterios nail a double Russian leg sweep and a leg drop to Finn, and that gets a 2 count. Finn's able to nail a backbreaker and Priest with a knee to Dominic Mysterio, and that gets a 2. Balor with a snap suplex, and then he chops Dominic and sends him into the turnbuckle pad. Rey is able to get the tag and nails a seated senton to Priest and then a bulldog. Rey then grabs a steel chair and nails Priest in the back with it. And then this is a really cool move. He basically uses the friggin' steel chair as a boogie board and rides out to the outside. This is Rey doing this. Pretty much lands a splash onto Finn Balor using the steel chair with him as he falls. Balor is able to nail a drop kick in the corner. Rey with a huge Hurricane Rana off the top rope, which gets a 2 count. Priest hits the South of Heaven. However, all of a sudden, the lights go off, and we see the return of my dude, Edge. He returns in a really cool fire pit, almost up from hell, pretty much. And he nails a big boot to Damian Priest, and he spears Finn Balor and Priest, allowing the Mysterios to nail a double 619. And Ray nails a springboard splash.
I completely forgot about the no disqualification part in that match.
Yeah, you're
like
probably
when that happened. I'm like completely forgot. Like, why is Edge getting out the ring? And then Ray's thing, I'm like, oh, that match isn't over yet. I thought it was over.
Yeah. Well, okay. So pretty much this match was just built to see the return of Edge. So
it was a fun match. It was fun.
So what did you think of the match, and then what did you think of the return of Edge? Do you think it was the return you wanted, or could they have done something differently?
I would have preferred him coming back with somebody.
Okay.
Like Bray Wyatt or somebody more maybe like a female, you know?
Yeah.
Or it's because what's he gonna do 1-on-3 or I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that it would be like Edge has this new brood and it's a group of other people, because it is going to be hard for him to take on all three of them.
But I'm sure now that Triple H is in control, he's definitely trying to get Bray Wyatt back. Because Triple H was one of Bray Wyatt's biggest supporters, I heard, backstage, and so he didn't want him to leave. Apparently,
no,
he was apparently very mad when he found that out. But he was going through his own personal stuff during that time.
Maybe Bray will come back and join with Edge, and it will be a whole war. That would be interesting to see. I mean, like you said, with Triple H,
they have literally no history together, so it'll be something brand new.
Something new and interesting. Well, let's talk about the match. What did you think of the match? I gave it a B. I was happy that the Mysterios finally got a victory, but what did you think?
Yeah, the match was good. It did what it needed to do.
Yeah. Yep. I still have a feeling Dominic is going to join Judgment Day, and that will be fun and interesting if that happens.
I've been calling that for months.
Oh,
it doesn't happen.
We got to figure out your nickname too, because I was about to call you Latino Heat for a minute. But anyways, so we then get a promo for Kevin Owens, which I was excited to see. I'm a big KO fan.
I like seeing all those promos too. They kind of keep showing those with wrestlers. That's good for people that are new to the watching wrestling. So they know who these people are. So oh, this person this and that person that, this person done this person does that, and then for the matches too. For every match is a promo. They show it. That's good for people people who just are just coming into watching wrestling. They're why is this match happening? Then you'll see they'll show the backstory of it. And then that answers questions for them.
I like a good video package.
Me too. I felt the most important thing is the theme song of the package too.
Yeah.
But sadly, they don't really put those anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe Triple H will get on those little details that we enjoyed. All right. We then get our next match. Pat McAfee taking on Happy Corbin, two former roommates going at it. And I forgot to mention for SmackDown, when Happy Corbin came out, he actually used the mugshot of Pat McAfee on his poster. So a little bit more personal issue here for this match. But here are some quick notes here. A man's choir comes out and they chant bum ass Corbin.
That's kind of cringe, by the way.
That was a little weird. The Joker guy stole the whole show with that little scene. And I will say, Michael Cole was on another level, and I was here for it. So
from that match on, Michael Cole was he was on a whole nother level.
I loved it. I was
it was Michael Cole, is that you there?
He was having, and I liked that because that was real. He was
come on back.
I love when he was going, you're just nothing but a bully.
He said that? He said
that to Baron Corbin. He's
said that because Baron Corbin pushed him into the chair. He was you're nothing but a bully.
Yeah.
Then after the match, when Pat McAfee won, Cole was Pat McAfee did the suck into Corey Graves. then he gave me that, and then Michael Cole had the double hands up, like, yeah,
Let me tell you, man, that was all of us. That was all we all took the spirit of Michael Cole in that.
And then there was this one thing Corey Graves is funny as hell too.
Yeah.
He said he was so like supporting. He was up Happy Corbin's ass, like yo, he was kissing his ass like face in, fucking butt cheeks straight in. Like, he was talking about he said something about like him, like Happy Corbin letting Corey Graves sleep on his couch or something, and then Michael Cole said something about the same thing about Pat. I don't know, like they were like defending their boys. I don't know.
They're on that. It was a good. Let me tell you, that was a great.
I feel like this is a really small build to like Corey Graves versus Pat McAfee one day.
Yeah, that will be in, dude. It's gonna listen.
But if they do that, they need to like during the match, they need to have mic sets on so we can hear them talk trash while they're fighting.
Well, let's talk about the action of this match. So Pat McAfee starts sending Corbin into the post. Corbin nails a drop kick, and then he whips Pat across the ring. Corbin sends Pat into the railing and gets a 2 count. Happy Corbin nails a deep 6 and again gets a 2. Pat dives onto Corbin outside of the ring. And then Corbin sends Pat over the announce table. He gets on commentary and he mocks Pat McAfee's parents. And that's when we were just talking about the moment where he pushes Michael Cole. Michael Cole calls him, "You're nothing but a bully." He gets upset. Which I wish he would have said, like, "Fuck you, Corbin." Like, when he calls him, "You're nothing but a bully." Like, imagine being pushed and then saying that's the guy that pushed you.
You're nothing but a bully. I know. I mean,
it was perfect. So then Pat leaps and hits a superplex and gets a 2 count. Pat then lands. I called it the Swanton Bomb. Wasn't the Swan Bro something? I don't know what he called it.
By the way, about that, like a couple times when he jumped on the ropes, it was kind of scary.
Yeah,
he almost fell a couple times, like twice or 3 times. He brought it up on his podcast. Like, I didn't watch the whole thing, but he brought it up. He said like the turnbuckle was like in his way or like certain position or something. But he brought it up though on his podcast. He talked about it. You know,
yeah,
he that was a little scary. That was a little scary.
Hanging on for dear life. So he nails a swanton to Corbin outside. Corbin accidentally hits the referee, and then Pat's able to get back at Corbin and hit a low blow, which is what Corbin did to Pat on SmackDown. And then Pat nails a top rope code red and gets a 3 count. Pat McAfee is your winner. I gave that match a 3. I'm sorry, a B. What did you think?
I was about to say, what are you on?
Sorry, I gave it a B. What did you think?
Give it a B plus. It was a good match too. Pat McAfee always shows out. It's just Happy Corbin. I don't know. It's like he doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I don't know what Corbin needs, because for months I feel like I've been saying.
I think my favorite gimmick of his was like the bum ass, like the poor man. Yeah, that was probably the only thing I found entertaining of him.
Well, there was a character, like, it was funny. You were able to connect and find something. With Happy Corbin, there's really nothing to connect to except for that he's just a rich asshole, which is kind of like, okay, but what else is there to you? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you attacking, But anyways, it was a decent match. I agree. We then have our number 1 contender for the Undisputed Universal Title, Drew McIntyre. He comes out.
That was like kind of random. I don't think we really needed that.
Yeah, I thought it was random too. And he just basically reminded
they could have used that time for somebody else.
Yeah, they totally could. No, they totally could. Drew says, he just wants to remind everyone that he's the number 1 contender and that he will win the title at Clash at the Castle, right? That's what it's called, Clash at the Castle.
Clash of I don't know. Clash of the Castle, Clash of the Castle.
That will be happening in September. I think in our next match, the Undisputed Tag Team Championships on the line.
Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, the Usos.
The Usos defending against the Street Profits with guest referee Jeff Jarrett.
They always have great gear, by the way. Like their gear is always on point.
I was excited about the Tennessee.
It's always the same thing. It's always the same thing, but like they always are looking fresh. They got the Jordans on there.
I'm gonna take Jerry the King Lawler's phrase and say it to you. You would notice the Usos when the Tennessee cheerleaders come out to bring out the Street Profits. Um, I was happy to see them.
The cheerleaders?
Yes, they
I
came
didn't
out.
really pay attention to that part. I was like, wait, like where are the profits at?
So here are some notes
I
for
wish they would have came out the crowd though, like they've been doing the past couple
the
weeks. Like
Profits.
they've been on and off doing that. Like I don't like, are you gonna do it or not?
They bring the swag like nobody can. So the match
I'll never forget this moment when Montez came out. I think they were leaving though, and then like he saw a baby, and then the baby was like dancing with him. It was like a cute little baby dancing with him. I don't know if you saw that. It was like back a while ago.
I don't know. I have to probably check it out. I would guess a Montez Ford. I don't care. I get down. So the Usos nail a combo fist drop to Angela Dawkins, which gets a 2 count. Jimmy with a running hip attack in the corner to Angela Dawkins. Dawkins nails an enziguri, and then Ford nails a huge crossbody to Jay. Ford chops Jay and then lands a standing blockbuster, which gets the Street Profits a 2 count. Jay nails a launching neck breaker to Montez Ford, which then gets a 2 as well. Angela Dawkins pounces Jimmy into Montez Ford's back suplex, which again, that gets a 2 count as well. Jay then hits Ford with a super kick, and then the Usos a double super kick to Dawkins. Jimmy with an Uso splash to Dawkins, again a 2 count nonstop action between all 4 guys. Jay goes to super kick forward, but then he accidentally is about to nail Jarrett, who catches Jay's leg, and then Ford nails a huge frog splash, which again gets a 2 count. Ford runs into a double suplex, and then he gets tossed into the crowd. Double super kick to Angela Dawkins, and then the Usos nail a 1D to Dawkins to retain the titles. 3 count. I gave this match a B. I think their Money in the Bank match was a lot better, but what did you think of this match?
It was a good match, but I got a question for all you guys and you too, Ann. You can answer now if you want. So do you know like Roman's contract's kind of like iffy right now? Like he could leave any day that he wants, right? Like he could just disappear and like he would be gone. Do you think the bloodline will be able to continue without him?
Well, the problem is this whole sort of like storyline is built around Roman.
Yeah.
Had there not been Roman, the Usos wouldn't be doing this bloodline.
So like, what do you think? What do you think would happen? Like, do you think like the Usos would be able to go single? If the Usos went single, Jay would definitely like show out. He's proven it before.
In my opinion, I don't see them ever going singles because of how dominant they are as a tag team.
Yeah.
I think even if the whole like gimmick does
Roman's definitely gonna leave. Like definitely, like he's definitely like like 1 foot out. Literally.
They'll probably do like they probably won't do the bloodline gimmick exactly, but they'll probably still have like pieces of it. But you can't really do the whole, we the one. I mean, they could still do we the ones because that's their
just
thing.
maybe add people like that's Solo and maybe like they could just like because there would like technically not really be a leader in there.
Yeah,
Roman's like the leader of the whole group.
I don't know. I mean, anything could happen.
It's like I'm saying this because like they've been holding it down by themselves the past couple of weeks. Roman hasn't been there every week, remember?
Yeah.
The Usos have been doing everything. They've been there with Paul. They've been there every week, and Roman hasn't really been there every week the past couple of weeks. So I'm like thinking about it, like do they really need Roman? I don't know.
We don't know, but they definitely didn't need him to retain the titles at SummerSlam. We then get a Charlotte Flair promo, which is good to see her. This moment was the moment of the night for me. We see Kid Rock in the audience, and he makes out with a heavy set woman.
I know. I saw that. Like, what the fuck?
Can I just tell you my notes? My note says Kid Rock makes out with a fat chick. That was no, because
I thought that was his wife.
I didn't know who she was. She was just some random lady that he made out with. And I was like, all right, ma'am. And then I saw her later on. I was like, miss, you better get there. When fucking I don't know where she was when Bailey and Io and fucking Dakota got involved because she should have ran up in there and took their asses down, man. Where was she?
Who?
The lady. She could have gotten involved and helped out Becky and Bianca earlier. She could have got in the ring and held her own. Anyways,
I don't know. I don't know.
we'll call her Penelope. So Kid Rock makes out with Penelope, and then Riddle comes out to the ring, and Riddle says, "I'm not clear to compete, but I still want you, Seth Rollins. Come out here."
That was a funny moment. He told her, like, "Shut up." They're like telling him to get out there, and he's like, "Shut up!" And then he Seth Rollins. I like how Seth Rollins just ran out there.
Yeah, he runs out. Everyone chases after him like they're running to meet Santa.
Yeah, like that's like Temple Run. Like he just said, Seth Rollins said, "Yeet." He's like,
yeah, you're right. Temple Run. That was funny. Yeah,
he said, "I'm out."
So Seth books it to
the. He does. What do you call that exercise?
CrossFit.
Yeah, CrossFit. He's fast. You gotta be fast, man. Everybody's like, you see Adam Pierce, like, no.
He fucking booked. He booked it to the ring. And then
I'm not gonna let this man call me out like that. What he thinks he is?
No. He went running down. He did the Charles Robinson move from WrestleMania.
And here comes Riddle, right? Like saying, like, meet him halfway. And then they boom.
The two brawl. Yep. Riddle kicks Rollins, but then Rollins with a blow to the back, and then he stomps Riddle again. Riddle's having a hard time standing up, and Rollins leaves. So just a good way to show off Rollins. Good to see him on the show. And I think Riddle is, right now he's written off, but we'll see what happens.
I think he's actually hurt, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I think it's a storyline. I don't think he's really injured. I don't know.
He wasn't even on Raw. I mean, damn it, we're not even on Raw. Sorry about that. Sorry,
guys, get there. No, you're fine. Listen, I was just doing that earlier. All right, we're going to talk about our next match, and then we're going to give our thoughts after our last and final break of the show. The WWE SmackDown Women's title on the line. The women's
oh my God. This is the only match I had an issue with.
Defending against Ronda Rousey. And Carlos was not a fan of this one. But here are some highlights. Liv nails an enziguri and a code breaker to Ronda. Liv applies the rings of Saturn and then a crucifix driver and gets a 2 count. That looked really cool. Ronda locks in an armbar, but Liv is able to get to the ropes. And then Ronda applies an armbar. And here's a moment that the camera angle messed everybody up on. So Ronda has Liv in an armbar, and while the armbar is applied, Liv also has Ronda rolled up. So the referee counts to 3. But before he makes the 3 count, Liv taps out. So Liv retains the title because the referee saw her. He counted the shoulders down of Ronda, but he did not see that Liv tapped out before the 3 count. So after that, Ronda attacks Liv Morgan and the referee. She applies an armbar on a ref.
Poor loser.
Jamie Noble and Daivari check on him. Go ahead. What was that, my man?
Poor loser.
So we can actually talk about this really quick because I'm sure we don't have much to say about this one. What did you think about this? You weren't really feeling this match.
So here's my problem. All right. So Liv, the SmackDown Women's Champion, I feel like they made her look so weak. Like they could have been the match a little longer, but like they had her do like 2-3 moves and then Ronda dominates the whole thing. I feel like they made her look like I don't know, I feel like she should have had more offense in that match. Like I feel like they made her look like just so bummy. Like, oh yeah, she's gonna tap out while the referee's not seeing it or anything. And Ronda just throwing her around like that. I didn't really like that. I feel like they should have had more offense in there.
I wonder. The problem with someone like Ronda is because she's a real professional, badass. A lot of fans won't believe that Liv Morgan can take her.
I believe that she can. Fucking Ronda doesn't even want to be there anyway. Why the hell? I don't know. I
agree with you.
And why she's the one who said she wanted to give up the fucking SmackDown Women's Championship.
I can see, to be honest with you, though, I can see. Here's the problem. They shouldn't have done the armbar or made the armbar be so like such a serious maneuver because so many
Yeah,
people have tapped out to it that it's a move that's sort of indestructible. So because Liv isn't right, I mean, I think Liv is the same as Becky Lynch because I appreciate her, but I don't think other fans do as much. And because she isn't viewed as like a Becky Lynch at this point or a Bianca Belair, they don't think that she would be able to like maneuver out of that armbar. But I think, hey, they were smart about it. She was able to counter and do a quick roll up, and she
yeah.
did tap out. But I do think,
I'm glad she won. Nah, I'm glad she
yeah,
won. But
I like Liv. I think she should be the champion. My thing is that um they shouldn't have made Ronda still be dominant. I get they need to because she is Ronda, and like if she loses clean, people are gonna.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like she should have been so dominant in the match. Like
But
Liv hit like two,
yeah,
three moves, like you said, like the
yeah,
code breaker thing, the crucifix, the hurricane Rana. But like, come on, like it would have been like a good back and
yeah,
forth battle.
yeah.
For her,
Well, what I'm hoping is
But
maybe,
I know probably what their thing was like. They wanted to like have the main event, the longest like match on the show. They were like, all right, let's just end it quick.
I know that I did get cut short for time, but
Yeah,
I do think that they could have another match,
yeah.
maybe add someone to.
But she's suspended and fined, so
Oh, well, then good. Then maybe she'll be gone and maybe we'll get a return that we've been waiting for. Maybe that. Now, listen, I won't complain if we see a Sasha and Liv or a Naomi and Liv. I won't complain.
yeah. Hopefully they put him on SmackDown because the Raw roster's fucking stacked right now,
Yeah,
man.
they
Like
need to
they
have
need the Raw
Logan and
SmackDown needs some help, definitely.
All right. Before we take our break, we find out that it is Clash at the Castle coming to you live September 3rd, 2022 in
From
Cardiff,
where?
Wales. It's in Cardiff, Wales, and it's on September 3rd. So a couple
Okay.
more months, or not a couple more months, a month away, not too much longer. And when we come back, we're gonna get to see Kane and we're gonna get to talk about our main event. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. That was our last break of the night. So let's do a quick talk about Kane, the governor of Knox County, Tennessee, the big red machine. Kane comes out and he announces the attendance record of 48,449 people. And he thanks Nashville and he does his fire taunt, which for all of us who know Kane, I was excited to see that, man. So we have come to our main event, what everyone is here for, the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship last man standing match. The champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and the Usos taking on Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar comes out driving a tractor to the ring. And I was like scratching my head, wondering what's happening here. But I had a feeling he definitely was going to dive off of it, which he totally did. Brock dives off the tractor onto Roman Reigns, and then he suplexes Reigns outside of the ring. He tosses Roman into the crowd. Lesnar then suplexes Roman on the ramp, but Roman's able to send Lesnar into the steel bearing, I guess you would call it. Lesnar then tosses Reigns into the steel, and he pushes him off into a cameraman. He came right into our homes. Brock sets up a table, but Paul Heyman distracts Brock, allowing Roman to put Brock through the table with a Samoan drop. Roman then sends the steel steps in Brock's face. Roman then nails a rock bottom to Brock Lesnar through a second table. Roman then nails a Superman punch, a second Superman punch, and then a spear, but Brock still gets up. Brock then tosses Roman to the outside of the ring, and he slams Roman through a small piece of table, which you can tell actually hurts Roman. I think he gets cut up from it. And then Brock gets in the tractor and he lowers the little, I don't know what you would call it. What would you call that little thing in the front? The tiller or something? I don't know. He moves it down and he slams steps in Roman's face. Brock then lifts Roman up in front of the loader. That's what's called a loader. And he puts him in the loader and he ends up lifting it up and dumping Roman into the ring. Brock lands an F5, but Roman locks in a guillotine. However, Brock reverses it, but Roman's able to get up. Brock then uses a tractor and moves the ring. He lifts the ring up with the tractor, and Roman just sort of tumbles out of the ring. I mean, that was a cool scene there. Never saw anything like that before. Usos come out again and they attack Lesnar, but Lesnar takes them out. He nails an F5 to Paul Heyman through a table, which was awesome.
Hopefully he's okay.
Fuck you, Paul. And then Roman nails. Fuck him. Roman nails a spear to Brock Lesnar. However, Theory runs out, but Brock is able to nail an F5, and Roman nails a spear to Brock Lesnar on the titles. Theory is out. Roman then hits Brock with the briefcase, and then he nails him with a title. Brock gets up again, and then he nails him with the second title shot, and Roman and the Usos bury Brock Lesnar with an announce table and the steps, and Roman stands over Brock, and Roman Reigns is still your undisputed Universal Champion, and he is the last man standing. So much action in that match. I gave it an A. What did you think?
I thought it was very good. I didn't know they were gonna go that far. And like the carnage that they left. That a lot happened in that match. I definitely enjoyed it.
Wow.
My favorite part was before the match even started, when Brock Lesnar was standing on top of the thing, and then the announcer was like, "The challenger." And then Brock was like, "Shut up."
Yep.
And he said, "Brock Lesnar."
That was cool. I was like, "What is he doing?"
And then he threw the mic at Roman, and Roman caught that without even moving your freaking body. He just caught that. Like, I want to know how many tries they had to do that before they finally got it right.
Right.
Like, Roman just like caught that, literally, like, just like not even a move, just pop.
It was effortless.
Yeah.
I think this is a great main event. It reminded me of like the old school Attitude Era ones where you can't miss it. And I thought it was a great SummerSlam main event too. Definitely a match to go back on. I think Roman did his best. Brock did his best. And my question for you, Carlos, is now that we've covered the whole SummerSlam card, what was your favorite match and moment of the night?
Favorite match? I'd say the main event.
Yep.
Main event was probably the moment. Or like, I'll just say the main event. Yeah, just the main event, because everything in there was like great.
So my favorite match is probably, I agree with you, the main event, and I also like the Logan Paul Miz match, and I also, where else? I was a fan of the Becky versus Bianca match. My favorite moment of the night was seeing Io, Bigley,
that's
Kai. Yeah, dude, it was just that we know it's a new era, and I'm excited that we are going to be doing these recaps now because we are in a new era of WWE, and Clash of at the Castle will be September 3rd. And this upcoming week, we'll be dropping our Raw recap. It was a crazy Raw, the first Raw of a new era. I think it had like what 2.2 million views or something. Yeah,
that means we're in a new era of the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
That's right, dude. And we got to find a nickname for you, Carlos. You got to have your, you got to find one for you. No longer Latino Heat. He's grown up. So
Figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Stay safe, and we will talk to you soon with our next recap, which will be Monday Night Raw. Stay tuned, be safe, and we will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Hey, yo.